Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 2 of the underground bunker build. So we've had some little kind of exploratory works going on here. It's still horrible, it's still damp, it's still wet. It's very tiring in the mud, but yeah, I've been out here. Now what I want to show you today is this corner of the old driveway here. I've realised something really important, and that is a lot of that earth there is actually backfill. It's actually been backfilled over the 140 years that this house has been built. So we're going to be looking at this corner here, the boundary wall with my neighbour. You can see that there's a wall here, and that wall goes all the way to the corner of the garden. Let me explain. Let me show you what I found. So here's the corner in question. We're going to go up the ladder just so I can give you some bearings as to kind of what's going on. Up we go. Right, so here is my old drive. I've had a little mess around in this corner, and the reason why I've had a mess around in this corner is when I put the drive in, how many years ago, 20 years ago, I used to pull my car in through these gates, cars, vans, that sort of thing. It served a really good purpose for me, this drive, actually, for a long time. It's just it doesn't serve a purpose anymore. Sorry for my out of breathness. I'm still struggling with my fitness with this whole bunker thing. It's hard work, and I'm not getting any younger. So what I've done, I've chipped through this corner of the drive, and I knew. So there's the original house down there. So you imagine 140 years ago, when you wanted to go for a pee, there's the bar. There's the bar. When you wanted to go for a pee 140 years ago, you would have had to come out the house, walked all the way up to this corner, and used this here, which is the remains of an outside toilet. Now I knew it was there because when I put the drive in, I dug down a little bit myself, and it was tiles on the wall, and I thought, blimey, why is there tiles on the wall up here? And then I realised that this was the outside toilet by talking to some of the old neighbours at the time, which unfortunately have passed away since. So lead pipe, that would have been your water feed for the toilet. You can see here, now let me get in here now. You can see here that that's where the toilet was, that's where the drainage is, and that's all been bunged up with concrete. But what's really interesting here is, I was talking about earlier on how much backfill here this whole area is, because you have a look at the level of the floor of the original toilet, and it's 2 foot. I've measured it with the tape measure. It's 2 foot lower than the actual floor level that it is now. So if you imagine where we were where I started filming, just the other side of that wall, you imagine this section, taking this section out, there wouldn't be much kind of ground level between the floor and this floor here, if that makes sense. So in terms of digging this out, it's quite hard. I had to take my own layer of concrete away, and then I came across another layer of concrete, which was here. So they really wanted to hide this. When they got rid of it, they really wanted to hide it. There was another ceiling of concrete here, and then coming down from that ceiling of concrete, coming down another half a foot, there was another layer of concrete. Absolutely bizarre, absolutely bizarre. So you can see, I've been 3 days getting through all this concrete with a pick and a shovel and a sledgehammer. So you can probably tell, let me get back up. You can tell here now that if if you're born, and if you've ever gone into a really old house, and a really old terraced house that hasn't been kind of upgraded since the 1960s, think your great grandma, think your grandma. If you're my age, 43, your grandma probably would have had in her lifetime this 1960s kind of deco going on. Everything was bright in the 1960s, so red floor and bright blue bathroom walls. You can still see the plaster. You can still see the plaster on the walls, which is absolutely kind of marvelous, really, isn't it? Yeah, so bright blue walls. A few colours of blue, actually. You've got light blue, and then you've got a darker blue, and then a bright red floor. So that's what I found over the last few days. So what's next? Next is to well, I can certainly go that way. The plan is to take out that little bit of brickwork there, knock away that concrete ceiling, and probably take that corner of ceiling away there, and then here coming back on top. Now what I've done, I've stitch drilled. Now, I don't know if you know construction at all. I don't know if many of you went into construction or you know construction, but I didn't want to use an angle grinder, a disc cutter. I didn't want all the dust everywhere. I didn't particularly want too much noise, so I stitch drilled it. So every inch, drill a hole through the concrete, and then with a iron bar, stick it in through the concrete and then hammer hell out of it until the whole thing, what will happen is it cracks in a line. So first of all it cracked that way, and then it cracked that way, and then we broke it out. So I'm going to continue that process along here. Stitch drill, stitch drill, stitch drill, and then stitch drill along here, and take out that section, and then join up the dots really where we are down here, floor level. It does seem an awful way down there, but it's not that bad, I promise you. Yeah, so kind of go that way, go down, and then, well, we spoke to planning, and planning came to the house actually. I've mentioned this in a live stream. I reckon if I came, so here's the boundary of my house and the lane outside. If I come a metre here inside on my own ground, then there's absolutely no problems at all. You know, there's a metre away from the lane, so I can take away a good, where I am here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can take away a good 5 meters. 5 meters by 1, 2, by 2.5. 5 meters by 2.5. I don't know what the maths is for that. So I've got a great big area here that I can dig out, and, well, technically call it an underground bunker without needing any planning, because the house was so far down in the ground anyway. So basically what planning said to me was, we judge it through the threshold of your front and back door. So the threshold of my back door is there, and my threshold of my front door is exactly the same level. So technically, because they walked through my front door on a level threshold, and they've walked out here, technically I'm not doing any illegal works. So on we go then. So exciting find. We found the outside toilet. I'm going to chip away at that concrete now, and I'll give you another update when we're good and ready. Stone the crows.